Hello, 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 and welcome to the Encore Podcast. I am your host, Michael C. Brown, and I am super excited, beyond excited to have our special guest here today. We have former student and alumni, Kaitlyn Belfield, SGA, former SGA president. Kaitlyn, I want to say thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I reached out to you via, Instagram and was like, hey, trying to have you on the pod because you've always been a student. I've always remembered you left such an impact for me along with the student body. I had to have you on the podcast. It's year 6 of me being principal, having you back. So thank you so much for taking time out to be here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. So I'm going to get into the first question. I just want you to tell the viewers, tell us your age, the year you graduated here from Winners Mill, and also where you went to college.
So my name is Kaitlyn Belfield, as Mr. Brown said. I am 22 years old. I graduated in 2019 before COVID hit. And I went to Lebanon Valley College. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in science, exercise science specifically. That was my major. And I graduated in May of this year in 2023. So yeah, I'm excited with where I'm going in life for right now.
Well, look, congratulations on graduating on time, if you will, because I know that always is something
Yeah.
that happens for people. They
And
go
it
to
almost
college.
didn't happen, so
Yeah,
thank God it did.
yeah. Well, I follow you, and I'm like, well, look, they're graduating, and wearing their caps and gowns again, so it's awesome. Um, I guess talk to you with the Winners Mill. Talk about your experience here at Winners Mill, some of the things you were involved in when you were here, if you remember some of those things, and then um, what did you value about being here as a student, and what's like any core memories that you remember?
All right. So I was a part of the women's soccer team for all 4 years that I was here. I was captain of the varsity team with a couple of my friends, which was awesome and so much fun. I was a member of the Tri-M Music Honor Society. I was a part of NHS, um, and I was the president of the student programming board for 2 years, I think. I can't remember. But that was an amazing experience. I had so much fun, and getting closer to Mr. Neal was my favorite experience. I have to say that podcast last week is the reason, or I think you posted it
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week,
last
is the
week.
reason that I'm here today because I love for that man. Is eternal. I love him so much. He has literally shaped me into the person I am today because of the leader that I am and he is. Yeah, so
That's
applaud to
awesome.
Mr.
Shout
Neal.
out, shout out to Mr. Nish.
Uh, yeah. I uh I am very thankful for my experience here at Winners Mill just because I had amazing mentors and leaders to learn from. Mr. Snyder specifically, I know he has retired at this point,
Yeah,
but he was the women's soccer coach and the gym teacher, and he was just super chill and amazing. But the education here was honestly fantastic. I'm so
great,
thankful for everything that I learned here because it was so easy for me to transition it right to college, I think.
awesome.
Um, and part of me being able to be successful in college was because I had so many experiences here, like Tri-M and SGA, where I was meeting so many different kinds of people. So I was the athletic kid. I was in chorus as well. So I didn't quite fit in perfectly to both groups, but I still knew
Yeah,
both groups.
yeah,
So it got me to know an amazing amount of people, um, great experiences. And that helped in college too, because the more people you know, the better.
yeah.
Being kind is so vital because why do you want to be mean?
Right.
Why do you want to be rude? You know?
Well, that's definitely not you at your core. I tell
No.
people, all the time that when I started as principal here, I didn't necessarily know what to expect out of the student body. I was hopeful that people would be welcoming and everything else, but I was really focusing on, well, let me try to focus in on like, kind of like the underclassmen, because I was like, the seniors, there's no way they're going to buy into anything
Yeah.
that I'm selling because they're on their way out the door.
Yeah.
And so what I found was like quite the opposite. Like all of you, including yourself and some others, were so welcoming, so open to engaging in ideas and different things that I wanted to kind of bring to the table, that I was kind of blown away because I'm like, wow, I'm like, I'm actually building a connection with
Yeah.
people that are graduating this
Mhm.
year, which was like really, really amazing. So for me, I always a special place in my heart for you guys for welcoming in a new principal, somebody coming in the door that you didn't know what the heck they were going to be about or what they were going to
Yeah.
do, but still was like, hey, let's see what this guy's about. Let's see what kind of new ideas he has, and was just super welcoming. So I'm always appreciative of that. Um, so going to college and experiencing that for the first time, getting there, pandemic blowing up.
Mhm.
What I know you said that we prepared you well, which I'm all of your teachers will be super happy to hear. Carroll County will definitely be happy to hear that as well. But what did you have to make any adjustments? And if you did, like, what were the adjustments like coming from high school to college?
One thing mainly is knowing and understanding change is going to happen, like you said, and you need to be welcome and embracing it, honestly, all the time. I think people were nervous and skeptical when you were coming in just because we didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
But I can truly see, as someone who was here living it and someone who's now seeing it from the outside, that change is beautiful. The things that you have done for this school and just the shining bright light that these students are in the community now, I feel like,
Yeah,
and that I see on your Instagram, their smiling faces.
yeah.
I love it. It is fantastic. And I hope that everyone here gets to see that later on. Follow Mr. Brown on social media if you haven't already, plugging his social media. Um, but yeah, it really has been amazing to see that.
Yeah, and thank
Um,
you for still following. That's another thing that I marvel at
yeah.
is that I always feel like I'm just going to be like, once you guys graduate, be like, I'm not following this dude anymore. I'm
Mhm.
done. And was like, you all still follow and
Yeah.
still like active, which I think is like really cool because it gives you a connection to the school in which you graduated from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't need to stay in your hometown, but you don't need to completely forget about it either.
yeah,
Like, it's still here. You can leave here, you can leave this county, you can leave this state, but you can't forget the experiences that you've had here, like what built you.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, getting to live with somebody else was definitely a challenge, and learning somebody and their tendencies.
yeah,
Um, Even if you're not best friends with them, you still gotta be cordial. You gotta be nice. You gotta learn to communicate, which you need that everywhere.
yeah,
That is the basis and foundation that you need to speaking to people everywhere.
yeah,
You need to be kind, cordial, polite, work things out, compromise. It's important to be able to do that, because if you can't communicate with the people around you, even in small ways, it's just going to build and build and build and eventually catastrophize,
yeah,
which is not where you want to be. I've
yeah.
eventually
That's a
lost.
college word. That's a college word, by the way.
Yeah, I ended up losing the people that I was friends with my freshman year because of that, because they didn't know how to communicate, and I tried communicating with them, and they ended up just shoving me out, which is really unfortunate. But I've learned from that situation that I was not meant to be in that space
Yeah,
because I couldn't communicate with them. So I found better people and people that I could communicate with, who I'm now really amazing friends with,
yeah,
even though they're 6 states away.
yeah. Hopefully, shout out to them. Hopefully, they get a chance to see this as well. But um, like we talked about before, it's like life is really about journeys, different things, that different seasons in your life, and so some of those seasons go quicker than others. But it's okay. I tell people all the time, it's okay. You may not be super friends with people that you were friends with in high school, but it doesn't mean that when you see them, you mean them any ill will. Say, okay, if I'm in town, yeah, we can hang around, get together, whatever. Um, but it doesn't mean that they're going to necessarily be your best friends for life, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Some people look at that and frown upon that, but that's just how life works. You're a
Yeah.
different season. You're chasing different things,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when you chase different things, um, it kind of pulls you apart. But along with that, graduated from Lebanon Valley College,
Yeah.
2023. Congratulations for
Thank you.
that again. Um, what what was that experience like in college? And what have you been up to since you graduated?
Mm. Graduating college was, to me, like completely different from graduating high school. I don't know if everybody can say the same about that, but that was just my personal experience. Um, it was a super huge honor for me. Um, because this is hopefully my first of two degrees.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to be a physician's assistant in orthopedics, and my passion is for that is just soaring right now. I'm super, super excited. I'm in the midst of applying to PA schools right now.
Okay.
After I got back from graduation, I graduated on the 13th. The 14th was Mother's Day. So I took my mom to the zoo to see the elephants and have breakfast with the elephants. So she was over the moon. And then the next day, the 15th, I was shadowing my physician assistant the next day at 8 a.m.
That is
So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I shadowed with her until November, and that was in office, just like in an outpatient clinic, and then also in surgery. And I got to see knee replacements and
Oh,
knee arthroscopies and like people like seeing the inside of a knee and like taking
yeah.
out some cartilage and meniscus
So
stuff.
basically, my knee, basically,
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of.
both of my knees.
I got to see cortisone shots and all this fun stuff. Um, so yeah, I'm applying to PA schools right now. I'm working a part-time job, just trying to pay off some student loans and
Yeah,
doing some adulting.
adulting things,
Adulting's
things
its finest.
that is. So I'd like to say you are an amazing leader for us. Always marvel at that, even all the way up until your graduation speech. We still have a picture of you up in the hallway with the American
Yeah.
flag in the background. It's just so iconic. So, um, with that, how has that helped you moving forward in the things that you've been trying to do, being such an amazing leader and having those leadership experiences here? You talked about Mr. Neil molding you as a leader. How has that kind of paid forward for you?
Molding me as a leader honestly helped me in college because I was able to use those experiences and transport them to different clubs and things that I was in. I chose not to play a sport in college, which was just my decision. Um, and it's totally okay to play a sport in college or not. I did join a intramural team,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the treasurer for that club. We had a student programming board, and I was the vice president of that with
Okay.
a bunch of my friends, and I got to plan our fall fest. And that was so much fun. That's we just kind of do all the fun stuff on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really awesome to have a hand in like planning the bus trips that we got to go on and
Mm-hmm.
the events that we had and the people, the comedians that we got to see. We had a TikToker on campus. I can't remember his name now off the top of my head. He had like 3.5 million subscribers, and I was like, I helped with that. I did that.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
all of that leadership experience has helped me get to those positions to do super fun things, but it's helped me meet amazing people that I've never would have met otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me with scholarships as well because I was able to put so much on my resume, even from high school,
Yeah.
that my student loans now are so much smaller
Yeah.
because of my experiences. And I'm just going to keep carrying and tumbling with these. And they help me with my people skills. They help me overall organizational skills. Like, there are so many things to being a leader and stepping up in positions that is just going to force you to learn stuff that you need practically in life.
Yeah.
So part of adulting I already have down because of the things that Mr. Neil has taught me. So
Listen to Mr. Neil, everybody. If you haven't talked to him, you had to listen to him because the things that he's been able to do, and like I said, they seem to as more we're like this dynamic duo now, but like I really try to piggyback off some of the things he's trying to teach because end of the day, we're trying to mold individuals not just for now, but for forever, for years to come from now. So the fact that you have gotten some of those things and you're still grounded in that is awesome. Um, so we mentioned Mr. Neal. Is there other people that have inspired you along the way, along your journey since you have left
Mhm.
Winters Mill High School that you wanted to mention, and how so?
Um, there's one Mr. Leidensberger. He was a history teacher, and I remember he pulled out his guitar in class all the time. And that's not the most conventional way
Mm,
for teachers to go about class.
mm,
Love it. Still remember like almost all my moments in that class because he was such like an unconventional teacher.
mm.
I don't think Miss Seamus is here
Miss Seamus is here.
anymore.
She's
Is she
she
still
is
at Winters
she
Mill?
is our PPW, so she has an office right down
I
the
love
road.
her.
When you leave this podcast, we'll be able to
I love her.
see Miss Seamus.
She brought a horse once, I think, to the homecoming pep rally.
Yeah.
She has also been one of the huge reasons why I am the leader I am today. We went to a convention for SGA in Ocean City,
Mm,
and we got to meet an amazing amount of leaders over there, and just in the county as well, like from
mm,
the people that I was with. Um, Mr. Andrews, I loved him. He was an unconventional way of teaching because, in my opinion, he's like your guy.
yeah.
If you need a hug, he's the guy.
Yeah.
If you need to talk, he's the guy. If
Yeah.
you need to cry, he's the guy. If you need to sit in silence, he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's just anything you need, he's there. But he can also sing you a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
I work with his wife, sort of. She's in Care Lutheran Village
Yeah.
across the hall.
Yeah.
She's like always the nicest smiling face that I
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah. No, I tell them all the time, like if you don't like Dave Andrews, then there's something wrong with you. And he always laughs. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're the guy. You're like you said, you're the guy. Like I don't know, he just has that skill set. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's one Miss Jordan. Is she still here?
Miss Jordan is not, but she
Mhm.
is still does work with the school district.
Yeah.
She's head of the teachers union. So shout out to Miss Jordan. I know she'll be happy to hear that as well.
She is like one of the definitions of tough love, I
Mhm.
feel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
She is always about getting it done, but like if you were going through something, you can talk to her and she's real about it. She's gonna be like, if you need an extra day, I'll give you an extra day.
Yeah.
But like try not to do it again or just um be better with time management or if you need help, she's gonna help you.
Yeah.
You just need to speak up and ask for help. Because she was intimidating to me at first, but once you get to know her personality and just how she teaches and how she goes about life and math teaching, you get to know her and appreciate her and
Yeah.
what she's about. Because she's always says like, if you need help, like reach out, please ask for help. So if you're not gonna ask her, at least ask somebody
Yeah.
because it's so important.
Yeah. And that advocating, for yourself, I think is an important skill that we're all here
Yeah.
as, administrators, educators, just trying to teach
Mm-hmm.
students now to learn how to advocate for themselves. Because when you do get to college, it's not people that's going to advocate for you. You got to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All of those people would be awesome to hear
Oh, yeah.
that.
And
Yeah,
piggybacking
good.
off of what you just said,
Yeah.
being familiar with like administration and staff back here, I feel like was always vital for me because I never had any issues talking to professors or counselors or people on campus, like adults on campus that normally people be like, oh, I don't know them. I don't want to go talk to them. Sometimes it is hard to go up and just like strike up a conversation, but if you need help, sometimes it's just what you got to do.
Yeah.
So being friendly with you and previously Mr. King and everything, it's really nice. And Miss Zepp, would she?
Yeah, Miss Zepp.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's principal at West now. So yeah,
is she
yeah,
really?
yep,
That's
yep,
awesome.
yep.
Yeah, but just being friendly with all of you guys and having friendly faces, and you guys are always so happy to see me in here to say hi and whatnot. It's nice to know that too, that I can always come back and see and have a friendly face.
Mhm.
But it's nice to be able to talk to adults and not be like freaked out about it.
Yeah,
So
for sure, for sure. So I asked this question of everybody that's on here at Winters Mill. We're about passion, purpose, pride. So, what are 3 things that you are currently passionate about in your life right now?
I am super passionate about PA school and everything medical. Um, I have a couple anatomy tattoos on me right now. That's how passionate I am. I love everything anatomy body related. I'm just fascinated with how the body works, muscles, bones, cells, everything.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I mainly dedicated my life to in college and what I will be dedicating my life to, which is fantastic. Um, right now, I am super focused on building relationships in my life and keeping them.
Okay.
Because I have struggled with that in college, but I think I picked the wrong people, I think. And knowing who to pick is certainly vital in high school and college. Being nice to everyone is fantastic, but keeping your inner circle like tight and
Yeah.
with people that are with the same morals, values as you, and they're not going to put you down for what you love, that kind
Hmm.
of stuff.
Hmm.
So put people around you that you 100% fully trust and keep those relationships tight because they are what are going to propel you in life and to keep you motivated. Because if you don't have those people around you and you have negative people around you,
Hmm.
you're not going to be able to go forward and keep going.
Hmm.
Um, and another one I'm super passionate about is mental and physical health. If you're taking care of your physical health, you're taking care of your mental health, and vice versa.
Right.
They are so, so, so important. Because I was an exercise science major, I'm plugging everything I'm learning. It is so important to start an exercise plan now. And that sounds so crazy intimidating, but
Yeah.
you can literally start with half an hour of walking a day.
Yeah.
That will boost your mental health. It will increase your ability to sleep and sleep well. Your grades will improve. Your quality of life will improve. Your diet will improve. You won't want to eat all the crap stuff. You're going to want to drink water. You're going to want to keep exercising and keep progressing with that exercise and keep doing amazing things instead of going backwards.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm coming out of a rut and getting back onto that cycle. So it is super important to know how to get back on that if you
Yeah.
fall out of it,
Yeah.
because mental health is like super vital important. Therapy is great. If you take medicine, take your medicine
Yeah.
daily.
Yeah.
Um, and on campus, if you're going to college, um, try to meet with some counselors, and if they don't vibe with you, then try to seek help outside of campus. I did both on campus and off campus therapy. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, always things to consider.
Yeah. And I think that's powerful because I think when you talk about, building the right connections in your life, people don't understand how powerful that can actually be.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about your mental and physical health, that can totally stem from the connections that you have in your life. People don't know that because at the end of the day, if you are, you know, a lazy person or procrastinating, who are you surrounding yourself with? That's not like that,
Yeah.
right? So, hey man, I don't feel like going to the gym. Hey, get your butt up. Let's go to the gym. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? That could be somebody that's in your life that has that voice. So now you're like, I'm at the gym. I didn't even feel like it until I talked to this person,
Yeah.
and now I'm here at the gym and working out, right? Because it's about the people that you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
But if you surround yourself with people that are always like you, well, what's going to happen? Well, I don't feel like going to the gym. Yeah,
Yeah, me
let's
neither.
go eat. Let's go get a Cinnabon. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so then you're like, see how that turn goes in people's life. So I think that's really, really powerful. Look, our time is up. This is one of those things where like, I always say that I could talk to people all day on here. So, the 20 or 30 minutes is usually never enough time. But I want to definitely say thank you so much for being on. It's a very, very special time for me to have you come back.
Thanks for having me.
It's amazing. So hopefully people that listen to this and your folks and people that are connected to you understand a little bit more about you and how amazing that you actually are. And I would love to see where you go from here because I think it's only going to continue to go up, up, and up. And I'm just glad to be along the journey a little bit, at least watching from the window and seeing where you go because I know you're going to do big things. So appreciate you. So that's a wrap. just remember, everybody, to make sure that you are subscribed to the Encore Podcast. We're here to give you more of the content that you all want. Um, Subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Michael C. Brown 54, to get more of this great content. We'll be talking to some more interesting guests in the near future before we go into this holiday season. So again, thank you all for listening, and I will see you all again next time. Thanks.